Pranav R. Actually, you are using two devices. These are ഒന്ന് ചെയ്തോളൂ കുഞ്ഞ്. Others cancel use.
Okay, ma'am.
Hariom ma'am. Shobha ma'am is not able to join actually 100 na, so that's it.
Savita teacher, I will leave then.
Shobha ma'am is not able to join actually 100. Then another teacher please try.
I will leave. Let Shobha teacher join then.
Okay.
Savita, Shobha teacher the host, okay?
Actually I done also teacher, but I don't know.
I will leave. Savita, I'm leaving. Just
okay teacher. Hariom.
Okay. You make Shobha teacher the host, okay?
Now let us begin.
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Gayatri?
Yes,
ma'am. We'll start.
Okay. Hariom and good evening to everyone assembled on this virtual platform. Let's begin today's session by invoking the blessings of Lord Almighty. I call upon Shraddha K for the same.
ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरि ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ॐ
Thank you, Shraddha. Srimati Usha Prem to welcome the gathering. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gayatri. I hope I am audible. Respected principal, parents, teachers, and my dear children. I am sure all of you know that we are going to start our board exam in our center from 22nd onwards. That is this coming Monday, we are going to start the board examination in our center with Sanskrit for the 10th standard. And on 27th, we have the 12th standard exam beginning again with a minor subject, which is Malayalam. So I know that all of you are eagerly waiting because, you know, you have had your examination quite a number of times you had the examination. And I know that you are eagerly waiting for the board exam to start with because all of you are under a lot of tension because it's the board examination. Unlike in the case of, the school examination, you know that you have to be very serious. And I know that equally parents are also tensed a little bit, most of the parents, because 50% of their total weightage will be covered for this board examination. So it's a serious examination where you have to gear up. I'm sure you have had your preparations done well. Most of your pre-board examination, it's okay with not that we are very happy with it, but we know usually the trend is that by the time the board examination starts, children score very good marks. So don't worry about your pre-board examination marks. If at all it's a little less or whatever it is, don't worry about it. You still have time in between the examination. You have enough number of days for preparation. So don't worry. Okay, you are going to be okay. Another thing which you have to remember is that this OMR sheet is slightly different from, especially 12th standard, who are used to writing in OMR sheet. You may see that it is slightly different. But since you had the exposure, I'm sure you are confident now. Be careful when you use your OMR sheet. That's the only thing which I want to warn you. Don't be very playful when you write your OMR sheet. Be very, very alert when you are using your OMR sheet because that gives you the total marks. Whether you know the answer or not, what you have written in the OMR sheet in a proper way will give you the marks. Okay. Nobody is going to know whether you have written you know the answers or not. It should be there in the OMR sheet in the proper manner. So how to use the OMR sheet, the training is given to you. You have already done it also. Be very careful. Okay, children. And don't worry, you are going to write your examination in your own center. So that way you are lucky. You are going to see your own teachers as invigilators. Again, you are lucky. But remember, children, don't use this as a reason for being too free in the room because we have observers. We may be having flying squads visiting our schools. So remember, you have to be very serious. No scope for unfair means, meaning that you mind your own business and write your examination in a very serious manner because it is going to decide 50% of your total weightage. So be very, very careful. Okay, children. Now, when you write your answers in the OMR sheet, remember the last two parts are more important, the box and the next circle. Okay, that is more important. What you have in the 4 options given, whatever you do is not the important thing. What you write in the box after the 4 circles and the next circle is more important. That will decide your answer. And that all will be, I think you are very, very, well versed in this. And so I won't confuse you again here. Anyway, now you are waiting for more instructions. So that will be given by your principal. I'm sure parents are also eagerly waiting. So I wish all my children good luck for the examination. Prepare well. You still have a lot of time left. Don't worry. Only 50% of the portions and 1.5 hours of time only. So you have enough time. So don't be confident about yourself. Okay, children, that's more important. You have to be confident about yourself, but be disciplined in your examination hall. That's the only request I have got to tell you all, or I have got to make with all of you. Be very disciplined, be very good children. Okay. And now I welcome all my parents, all my children, and all my teachers for this meeting. And I welcome principal to address all of you. Welcome.
Thank you, Usha ma'am. I feel honored to extend a warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
Now, it's time to invite our versatile and cheerful principal, Srimati Shobha Menon, to address the online gathering.
Thank you, Gayatri. Let me wish all my parents a very good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, dear teachers, for being so very supportive throughout the year, throughout the pandemic, and my beloved children. Most welcome to this session. Now, today, I would be giving you certain insights regarding your board examinations, certain information that is very, very relevant to you. So, listen carefully and note down certain points which you feel are important. I request Susmita to kindly share the screen. I also take pleasure in welcoming all the children who are watching, parents who are watching from the YouTube channel also. So here are some general instructions for your AISSE for 10th standard and AISSCE Term 1 examination. The first information is, can you pass on to the next slide, please, Susmita? All of you, as far as 12th standard is concerned, you have received your admit cards. 10th standard, you will be receiving it tomorrow. And some of you who have your own personal problems, you have made a request to the school authorities, you will receive it in due course of time. Some children who have requested for center changes, you also will be receiving it in due course of time. Now, the moment you get your admit card, please go through the information that is there in the admit card. Note down your name, check whether it is spelled correctly, the name of your parents, check whether the spelling is correct, because there are, multiple problems if the spelling goes wrong. Check whether the date of birth, which is printed as far as a 10th standard child is concerned, make sure it is correct. You are expected to attest the or to sign the admit card. There is a specific place given at the base where your signature is to be endorsed. So please put your signature and do not laminate your admit card. Okay, it is not right for the admit card to be laminated. If you feel that you're likely to lose it, there are cases over the years where I've seen children losing their admit cards. If you think that there is a possibility that you may lose it, please take a photocopy or bring it to our notice, but early enough. And whatever information that you have seen in the admit card, okay, I just made a few references here and there. Read all the instruction that is given in your admit card, including the date sheet. The date sheet means the day and the date and the time you are expected to come to school for your examination. If you find any changes, please bring it to the notice of the school authorities. Also ensure that it carries an attestation by the principal as well as the school seal. So these are some information as far as the admit card is concerned. Make sure you read it thoroughly. Please pass on to the next slide. Thank you, Susmita. Reporting time. Now, the time for you to report to the examination center. The examination center is Chinmaya Vidyalaya. Now, why do I specifically say Chinmaya Vidyalaya? Because usually children go to an external center, to a different center. But for term 1, you have the opportunity to write your examination in the same center. For 10th standard, I also welcome the children from cooperative school who would be writing the examination at Chinya Vidyalaya. Most welcome, dear children. I know you are also there in the YouTube link. So all of you are expected to report the examination center between 9:45 and 10:45. That is the reporting time. At any time during this period, you can report to the examination center. Now, this longer period is given so that most of you come in a staggered manner, which is very essential as far as the COVID protocol is concerned. Now, when you come, you can reach your designated hall between 10:30 and 10:45. Okay, so 10:30 to 10:45, you can go to your respective hall. Now, how do you know which hall you're seated? Don't worry, the list of hall as well as your roll number and the corresponding hall will be displayed there at the entry point. So you can check which hall you are and you can walk across. Since many of you are our own children, please understand that the halls are at the right on the top. Okay, near the maths lab, we begin from the maths lab and it continues in the floor 3 as well as floor 2. Okay, so 10:30 to 10:45, you can reach the designated hall. In the examination hall, you would have your assistant superintendents or your invigilators who would be checking your admit cards. And that process takes place between 10:45 and 11 o'clock. From 11 o'clock, 11:10 to 11:30 is the reading time. Okay, by then there are certain procedures which happen in the control room, and all of you, all the examination assistant superintendents would get a packet of question papers, which will be open at a designated time, and it will be handed over to all of you. So you will have your reading time between 11:10 to 11:30, 20 solid minutes of reading time. And your examination, as you know, begins from 11:30 to 1 o'clock. So 90 minutes of examination time. And children with special needs, you have 30 minutes extra time. As you have already been informed, you have already got that particular printed sheet regarding the extra time that is allocated to you. So this is regarding the timings, your reporting time, as well as some other information. So Smita, next slide, please. Coming to the dress code. All of you are expected to wear your complete uniform, including your identity card. I think this was told to you when we met just before the pre-boards. I had told you that be prepared with at least one set of uniform as well as the identity card, which was shared to all of you through your class groups. You were asked to download it, laminate it, and put a blue tag. So make sure you have your identity card. It is very, very important. Shoes and socks, please, you do wear it. If it's raining, I will not insist. And girls, please, decently, please tie your hair. Don't let it loose because that is going to, irritate you during the examination time. You're coming for an examination, come well prepared as far as possible, decently for your examination. Next slide, please. I don't have to reiterate that you have to follow the COVID protocol, the SMS, social distancing, the mask, as well as the sanitizer. You are permitted to wear gloves if you want. If you feel really uncomfortable, don't. Or if you feel that you are exposed, you are permitted to wear your gloves or your face shield, whatever. So make sure you follow the COVID protocol. And a very important point is, if you or any member in your family experiences COVID-like symptoms, do inform the school authorities. Do not keep it hiding, because you are going to sit in an examination hall where other children are there. If you have any symptoms similar to that of a COVID, make sure you inform your class teacher, and the class teacher definitely will inform us, because we can make arrangements in the school for you to write the board examination in isolation. So make sure this particular information is shared, and don't, hide these facts. because you are a socially committed individual, and your parents are also socially committed. So make sure this information is definitely shared to us, and we'll make necessary arrangements for making. See, God forbid such things happen. But then even for the pre-boards, even for the, practical examinations, I did have so many requests from parents saying that a child is not keeping well, want to shift from the offline to the online mode. And these requests keep coming on in a regular basis. So knowing this, I'm just informing you that if in case any kind of similar symptoms are experienced, we are all, keeping our fingers and our toes and our entire body crossed to ensure that such things do not happen. Pray to God Almighty that all of you are kept healthy during this period of examination, so that you can all come and write your exams in a proper manner. Next one, please. There are certain do's that you have to follow. As soon as you reach the examination center, that is Chinmay Vidyalaya, check the hall. As I told you earlier, it is displayed there. Please look at the display board and find out which hall you are allocated to. It may be room number 1, room number 6, and so on. Then, the second very important thing is, as soon as you get your question paper, check the total number. It will be printed in the front sheet. It will be printed that this question paper contains this many pages and this many questions. So just count the number of question paper, count the number of pages, and ensure that the pages are arranged in a proper sequence. Okay, these are two very, very important things. Count the total number of pages, count the total number of questions. See, if the instruction says that this question paper carries 32 questions or 40 questions or 50 questions, just turn it and see if all these 50 questions are there. And the next point is, prepare the exam according to the date sheet. It sounds very funny, but over the years, I have seen children reporting on a wrong day. I had once experienced one child was not there in a particular classroom, and on inquiry with the accompanying teacher, the teacher of a different school, she immediately contacted this child, and the child says, "Ma'am, I'm at the tuition center, and I thought the examination is tomorrow." So these things have happened. Okay, I can quote 3 or 4 examples of children reporting on a wrong date. So make sure you know your examination dates, your parents also know the examination dates, and this is very, very important. It has happened earlier, and let it not happen again as far as you are concerned. Fill the correct question paper code on the OMR sheet. Your question paper has a question paper code. Your teachers must have told you that. And this question paper code should be filled in the OMR sheet. So that is another very, very important instruction that you have to follow. Coming to the next slide, Susmita, please. Yes, some more do's. Do maintain strict discipline in the examination center. You are meeting your friends and you may be excited, but no, this is examination. So you are not expected to, have a gala time here. It is a time when you have to be disciplined. So maintain strict discipline. Have a nourishing breakfast. Okay, see, you're reporting to the school around 10:30 and you are expected to remain here till around 1:15. So there are chances for you. Some of you are traveling. Maybe you start from your home around 8:30 or 8 o'clock. So there are chances for you having feeling hungry. So make sure you have a nourishing breakfast. I don't say heavy, but nourishing breakfast, which will keep you alert. You have to be alert throughout your examination duration. And please don't skip your breakfast. There are children who I know skip breakfast. This is not at all advisable because you have a tendency to forget things that you have learned. Please avoid doing that. Then do not have anything out of the way the previous day. Okay. something you buy from outside, something which is not there in your regular diet. I've had instances where one child ate something from purchased from a hotel the previous day, and he ended up having bouts of diarrhea as well as vomiting. He had to be hospitalized, and he was hospitalized. He was given drip as well as injections to stop this. And you can imagine the mental state of that child, because it is not easy to come for an examination with ailments. So please don't have anything out of the way the previous day. Be careful. Some of you have very sensitive stomachs, so be very careful that you do not have anything out of the way the previous day. You can carry water or lime juice with you. It is permitted. A small bottle of water or lime juice. Lime juice, definitely a swig of lime juice just before you enter to the examination hall gives you the necessary glucose and, perks up your ATP level in your body. So it is permitted to carry fluids. Okay, fluids, you are permitted to carry water or lime juice. And this is another very important thing. Children, some of you have a habit of studying late, into the late hours, and not having enough of your sleep. Avoid that. You have to sleep at least for 6 hours. You have to keep your brain mentally alert, because these 90 minutes are very, very crucial for you. And you are not expected to fall asleep. Your brain should have the maximum energy, and your brain should be alert. So please sleep properly just before the examination, on the day previous to the examination. And the next point is answer the nature's call before entering the examination hall. Now, what do you mean by nature's call? Visit the washroom. That is the meaning of answer the nature's call. Some of you, as I said, you may be traveling, and you would be more worried about the increasing pressure in your bladder rather than concentrating on an examination. So make sure you go to the washroom, relieve yourself before you enter into the examination hall. These sound very, very silly, but then they are important. There are cases where children control their bladder and finally it peens. So don't do that. Relieve yourself before you enter into the examination hall. So Smita, next slide, please. Make sure you have all these articles with you. One is your admit card. It is compulsory to carry your admit card every day. Do not forget to bring your admit card. It has to be carried with you every day. Do not laminate it. I believe there are, over the years, I have seen children laminating it. You're not supposed to laminate it. Make sure you sign at the designated places. Take a photocopy if you are not very sure that you are likely to lose it. Take a photocopy. Then the second one is bring writing materials, enough of writing materials like your blue pens, extra blue pens, and make sure you have used these pens earlier. Don't buy a new pen and keep it for the examination, because sometimes it fails to write. So use it previously. Okay, go scratching with it so that the flow of the ink is kept correct. And carry your extra blue pens, because your admit card says blue or blue black. It doesn't say black. But the video which was shared from CBSE mentions that you can use either a blue or a black pen. So you can, since the CBSE has shared this video, but contradicting that, your admit card says blue. So carry your blue pen, even extra pens with you, and make sure it is, in proper condition. Bring your scale, your instrument box, and all the necessary articles which is required. A scale, definitely, because as I've already told you earlier, when you darken the circles, keep your scale in such a way that you do not darken the wrong circle. Okay, there are possibilities of having parallax error. So you are permitted to carry all this in a transparent pouch. Okay, because it's not possible for you to carry it in your hand. So all these things can be carried in a transparent pouch. That is what your admit card says. And as you know, borrowing of articles are not permitted. Okay, it is, taken as an unfair mean. So please avoid, you have a tendency, children normally have, I forgot to bring that, I forgot to bring this. You are not expected, you cannot borrow articles. And you are expected to carry your own sanitizer bottles. It will be kept at various strategic locations in the center, but please carry your own sanitizer bottles and a water bottle, which I've already mentioned earlier. Next one. Susmita? Yes. The CBSE does not postpone examinations on account of hartals. Now, you know that Kerala